Hey, what's up guys? It's Rick with the Digital Divide. Today I want to talk about how awesome the mouse and keyboard support is on the Xbox Series consoles. It's just so much more accurate and so much more fun to me to use that. Now this is my office setup slash Xbox gaming setup. I've got my Xbox in here, my gaming PC, and my Sega Saturn. And I use this for all three, and then outside I have the PS5 in the living room on the big screen. So as you can see, I've got my Xbox Series X there. And I've got a little switch that I bought, as you can see here. Wipe the dust off of this thing. But it's made by a company called Ugreen. It allows me to switch control of the mouse and keyboard between my Xbox and my gaming computer. So if I hit the button on top of the unit, it gives me control of the mouse and keyboard through my Xbox. And if I hit it again, then it switches control back over to my PC. So this way you only need one keyboard and mouse, and you can use it between both. Now this isn't expensive. I got it on Amazon. I pretty much buy everything on Amazon, but it was only 20 bucks and it works really well. It lets you hook up a ton of different things and then share them between multiple devices. So as you can see, if you have a mouse and keyboard on your Xbox, it makes navigating the UI so much easier. You even have access to the full Edge browser, so you can surf the web, and it is lightning fast. You can go over to YouTube, for example, and I can play videos at full 4K through YouTube, and it's lightning fast. It feels exactly like you're on a computer while you're doing this. So it gives you a little bit more functionality than just playing video games. On your console, you can even go check your mail, do whatever you want to do, surf the web. I mean, pretty much anything you can do on a computer, browser-wise, you can do on this. And it makes sense because this thing has the newest AMD Zen 2 base processor, a 12 teraflop GPU, 16 gigs of RAM, a 1 terabyte SSD. I mean, this generation of gaming consoles, the hardware that they're supporting is faster than most people's primary PC. So let's jump into a game. I'm going to go ahead and pop into Halo Infinite, and as you can see, as long as the keyboard and mouse is on, it will automatically detect it and pick up. And it controls flawlessly. There is absolutely no delay whatsoever. This feels exactly as though I was playing on my gaming PC. There is no difference whatsoever. It's perfect, and it's so good that the Xbox has actually replaced my gaming PC as my primary way to play games now. I just play on this. And then I have a PlayStation 5 in the living room, but I use that basically just to play the Sony exclusives at this point. But with Game Pass, this is just a great deal. And obviously, first-person shooters are going to control better, but let's jump over to a game like Psychonauts 2. This game also supports mouse and keyboard, and even though it's a third-person action-adventure game, it is still way more enjoyable, in my opinion at least, to play with a mouse and keyboard. It's just so much more accurate. And I grew up playing PC games, so maybe I'm a little bit biased, but it supports the game flawlessly, and once it detects that you're using a mouse and keyboard, it even changes the in-game icons to reflect that you're using a mouse and keyboard instead of the Xbox controller.
What's that sound? I need the purse tag here.
So there's a website, and I'll try to remember to put a link in the description, but it's this URL up at the top of the browser here, and this website will tell you, and this is updated, it's a database, and it's updated every day to tell you what games currently support mouse and keyboard on Xbox platforms. And it gives you notes, it tells you if the game supports crossplay, it'll tell you to what degree it supports the mouse and keyboard, because some games, they're just plug and play. All you have to do is plug it in. As soon as it detects it, you're good. Some games you do need to have the controller just to get through the initial menu, and then you can use a mouse and keyboard. And then obviously some games don't support the mouse and keyboard at all, but this is a really cool website. that lets you, before you buy the game, if it's important to you, you can check on this website and it'll tell you. Games like City Skylines, for example, and other strategy games, it's critical to have a mouse and keyboard. But even just navigating the basic menu, like jumping into the store here, if you're looking for a game you want to buy, just being able to type it so much faster than using a controller. It's just, in my opinion, it's such a better experience setting up the Xbox like a little mini gaming PC. I did want to talk about something else though, because recently Microsoft updated the Edge browser. If you go into Games and Apps and then navigate to Apps and then look for the Microsoft Edge browser, they've updated it so that it supports full Java plugin, and it's got all the same support as a regular computer does. There's a website called emulatoronline.xyz, and there's several of these sites. This is not the only one, but this is the first one I tried, where you can actually emulate games straight from the browser. So we'll jump into a Nintendo 64 game so I can show you how this works, what the quality is. And I'm just going to type in Mario 64, that's a classic, and I'll give you an idea of how well this works. I was surprised because normally browser-based emulation, which is not a new thing, it's been around for a while, but it's usually not great, it's slow. But because Microsoft recently updated their Edge browser, and considering the hardware that it's running on, it actually runs shockingly well. So once you've got the game started here, you can exit out. There's going to be a lot of ads on these kind of websites, but as you can see, you can customize all the controls and you can make it full screen, and I'm playing a Nintendo 64 game on my Xbox console without any kind of modification whatsoever. It's just opening up the Edge browser and navigating to a website and clicking play. And it even supports save states, and again, you can customize your controls, although it automatically detects if you have an Xbox controller. The default mapped controls are a little bit wonky. As you can probably see on screen, when I move the analog stick around, it also moves the browser cursor. You can fix that by customizing the controls. I just haven't done that yet because I don't care. I'm just grabbing this for footage. But it's running perfectly at full frame rate, and it automatically upscales to the output of the Xbox. And again, this is just one website. There's a ton of websites that have arcade games, PlayStation games, Dreamcast. This one is focused mostly on Nintendo stuff. So I'm just going to run around here as Mario to give you an idea of how it runs. Alright, now I'm going to switch over to Super Nintendo just to give you, again, an idea of how this runs. I'm going to take a look at Mega Man X3 here, and then scroll down and click Play Now. There'll be a bunch of ads. Again, just close them out when they pop up. We'll switch this over to full screen. Again, I'm just using the Xbox controller. This is running natively with no modifications whatsoever. And as you can see, the game runs flawlessly, no issues whatsoever. But that's mostly it. I just wanted to show you guys how the mouse and keyboard functionality works. As always, thanks for watching.